Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. One of Myanmar's most popular celebrities has been arrested by the military as part of a growing crackdown on artists and actors. Paing Takhon, a model and actor with millions of fans in Myanmar and Thailand, had been active in both online protests and in-person rallies. Mr. Takhon's Instagram profile with more than 1 million followers has been taken down, along with his Facebook account. Meanwhile, Myanmar's ambassador to the United Kingdom, who has been locked out of his embassy by representatives of the military, urged the British government not to recognise the junta's envoy and to send them back to Myanmar. Northern Ireland's government has said it is gravely concerned by recent street violence and has called for calm to be restored. During several hours of rioting in the capital, Belfast, on Wednesday evening, police were attacked, petrol bombs were thrown and a bus was burnt. The Police Federation said 7 officers were injured at an interference between loyalists and nationalist areas. The Prime Minister Boris Johnson has condemned the violence. More than 50 police officers have been hurt in a number of areas since the end of last month. China has sent more fighter jets into Taiwan's air defense zone in a show of force, prompting Taiwan's foreign minister to say it would fight to the end in case of a Chinese attack. The democratic self-governed island, which China claims as its own, has complained of escalating military activity by Beijing in recent months. On Monday, China said an aircraft carrier group was exercising around the island, while the US Navy said it had conducted what they defined as a routine transit of the Taiwan Strait on Wednesday.
In the Taiwan Relations Act, the United States maintains the capacity to...
The US State Department spokesman described Washington's commitment to Taiwan as rock solid. The health of the jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny is deteriorating and he is beginning to lose sensation in his legs and hands. That's according to his lawyer. Vadim Kobzev said Mr. Navalny has been diagnosed with 2 spinal hernias. Last week, the Kremlin critic started a hunger strike to demand proper treatment for acute back and leg pain. The White House said reports that his health were worsening were disturbing. Earlier this week, Mr. Navalny was moved to a sick ward in the prison in the town of Pokrov with symptoms of respiratory illness. He had complained of a persistent cough and temperature. The Spanish Coastguard has rescued 59 migrants from a dinghy boat 80 miles off the south coast of Gran Canaria. The boat carrying the migrants, including 41 men, 17 women and 1 minor, later arrived at Gran Canaria's port. Scrambling to deal with soaring levels of migration from Africa, authorities on the Canary Islands have resorted to housing thousands in converted former military facilities. More than 1,500 people have been living in the Las Races camp, a former barracks near the city of Laguna on Tenerife, for the past 2 months. Facebook has said it has removed more than a dozen accounts and pages on Facebook and Instagram from Egypt that targeted Ethiopia, Sudan and Turkey. The company said the pages had violated Facebook policy against foreign interference and had been involved in coordinated inauthentic behaviour. The accounts had shared stories in languages widely spoken in Ethiopia. The content includes criticism of the massive dam that Ethiopia has built on a tributary of the River Nile, as well as Turkey's foreign policy, while sharing positive commentary about Egypt. French winemakers have lit tens of thousands of candles to try to protect their vineyards from unusual sharp spring frosts. Temperatures plunged as low as -5 degrees overnight in wine regions such as Burgundy and Bordeaux, which could hurt shoots already well developed because of earlier mild weather. Winemakers also put out smouldering straw bales to provide a smokescreen to prevent the early sun from burning frozen shoots, sprayed water over the vines and installed heaters and wind towers. A severe cold spell in April 2017 damaged vineyards so much that annual French wine output was the lowest in history. And finally, one-time use ketchup pockets are in short supply in food establishments across the United States as restaurants and bars continue to receive more takeout and delivery orders. The ketchup boom in demand has already resulted in a 13% hike in ketchup packet prices since 2020, and experts warn those prices are here to stay. The Kraft Heinz company, which holds nearly 70% of the US ketchup market, says boosting manufacturing capacity could help with the shortage, but experts warn the demand for ketchup won't be going away anytime soon. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.